In this video, I will show you how to get started in Jasper Active Excel Online. So please start with your Rapid Identity screen and find the tile for Office 365. When you click on Office 365, look at all of the icons on the left side of the page and click on Excel. Click on Excel. It's the green icon with the X. And then choose the option for New Blank Workbook. New Blank Workbook. When the page loads, you're on the Home tab. Please go to the far right of the page, click those three dots, just like we did in Word, and choose Jasper Active for Excel. And then click Get Started and sign in with your KSD email and password. Now that you're signed in, we're going to start by clicking on the benchmark. Please click on Benchmark. And we're going to click the Start button at the bottom. But we're not actually going to complete any of these questions. We're going to click on Skip All at the bottom of the right-hand side. Click Skip All. Give it a moment. And then we're going to choose Finish. And go to My Dashboard. We have to take care of that benchmark before we can move on to the lessons. So now we're going to click on Lessons, and we're going to choose the first lesson or chapter called Manage Worksheets and Workbooks. Click Start for that first lesson, and we're going to take care of the first exercise called Learn to Enter Data. Click on Learn to Enter Data. In this exercise, you will learn how to enter text and values in a worksheet. Click Start. Please note that there are 7 parts to this exercise. Let's go ahead and start with the first one. So it asks, I'm going to zoom in so you can see better. All right, it asks us to click on cell A2, and we can find that carefully by finding the A column and going down till the 2. There we go, and please type the words price quote, paying careful attention to your spelling and your capitalization. If you spell it incorrectly or capitalize it incorrectly, you'll get marked wrong. So type price quote and press enter. And now you'll notice we are in cell A3. When we press enter, we go down. So let's press enter 2 more times to take us to cell A5. And in this cell, we're going to type the word airfare, capital A. Press enter. In cell A6, we're going to type the word hotel and press enter. In cell A7, we're going to type the words car rental, paying careful attention to the capital C and the capital R. Press enter. And in cell A8, we're going to type the word taxes with a capital T and press enter. Step 1 is done, so let's click submit and move on to step 2. All right, I'm going to show you autocomplete. So in cell A9, I'd like you to type a capital A. And when this happens, Excel uses autocomplete to guess, and it's guessing that we want to type in the same thing as above, the word airfare. But we're actually going to type something different. You could press enter sometimes to accept the recommendation, but in this case, we are going to keep typing, and we're going to type out airport fees. You'll notice airport fees is longer, and so it goes a little into the B column, and that is okay. The text is still technically in A9. All right. If we enter text in the next column over, it would cut off airport fees. All right, please go down to cell A12 and type airline colon. Don't forget the colon. Airline colon and press enter. And this time the autocomplete didn't turn on because we have the space between them. All right, we're going to enter a few more words. In A13, we're going to type hotel colon, enter. And then we're going to carefully go to B12. Go to B12 and type Great West Airline, paying careful attention to our capitals and our spelling. Great West Airline. Press enter and type Hotel Zathura. Press enter. And click on the very top cell A1, and we're going to type Tolano adventures. So this sheet is a sheet being prepared by this pretend company, Tolano Adventures, to figure out how much it costs for a particular trip. All right, pay careful attention to your capitals. So we're going to go ahead and click Submit and go to step 3, entering numeric data. Let's find cell B5. So find B and go down to 5, and we're going to type in 450 and press enter. You'll notice that Excel lines up numbers on the right side of the cells, whereas text, it lines up on the left. In B6, we're going to type 1000, 50, so 1,050 and enter. It recognizes the comma as a separator for numbers greater than 1,000. In B7, let's type 225, enter. And in B8 for taxes, we're going to type 46.50, enter. This time, notice how Excel recognized that we entered a period, which it interprets as a decimal point. In this case, it only shows the one decimal point because the second one was a 0. We can fix that. In B9, we're going to type 9.9 and press enter. All right, now click on cell A9. Now you'll notice that part of the word fees is cut off because it was overflowing into B9, and now it's hidden because we've put a number in B9. But up here at the top, this is the formula bar. You'll notice it still has the full word fees. So it's still there, it's just not visible. So we will fix that in a minute. All right, question 3 is done. Click submit and go to question 4. So there's other things that we can enter besides text and numbers. We're going to enter some other things like percentages. So let's find cell D like David 8, D8, and we're going to type 3.1% and enter. Type 3.1%, enter. Excel interprets this value as numeric and lines it up on the right side of the page, but it added a 0 for us. It added a 0 because it likes to do 2 decimal points. All right, in D9, let's type 2,2%. So instead of a decimal point, this one we're going to put a comma. Now, because of the comma, Excel aligned it on the left side because it doesn't recognize it as a number. It assumes it's text. So let's go back to D9 and do it correctly, 2.2%. And now it's on the right side. Numbers always go on the right. Click submit on question 4. Now we're on question 5. Click on cell A3 and we're going to type the words as of, making sure our A is capital and that there is a colon after the word of. And this time we're going to press the tab key. Press tab on your keyboard. When you press tab, it goes to the right. So now we're in B3, and I'd like you to type 01 space May. This stands for the 1st of May, and press enter. And you'll notice Excel changed the way the date looks just a little bit to the default format. All right, please now find D3, D like David 3, and we're going to type the word expires. We're going to type expires with a colon and make sure it's a capital E. And press tab to go to the right. And now we're in cell E3 and we're going to type JUL, which is short for July, space 15, comma, space 2020 and press enter. So Excel just changed it to the default format, even though we entered it in a different way. All right, click on E3 again and look up here in the formula bar. In the formula bar, Excel recorded it as 7/15/2020. We did not enter it this way, but this is how it records dates. All right, let's go to cell B3. And because we didn't include a year when we typed May 1st, it automatically put the current year, 21. because that one we did not tell it what year it was. All right, that's the end of question 5. So click submit to go to 6. Now we're going to adjust the column widths because we don't want any of our words to be cut off. So click on any cell in column A. I'll just click on A5. And on the Home tab, on the far right, those 3 dots are the More Options button. I click on the 3 dots. Oh, actually, in mine, my Format button is actually showing on the toolbar. So if you have this button here called Format, if you put your mouse on it, it tells you the name. It could either be on your toolbar on your ribbon here, or it could be in the 3 dots. So we're going to click on Format, and then we're going to choose Column Width. Column Width. And in the column width box that currently says 8.43, we're going to change it to 14 and click OK. So now airport fees is no longer cut off because we made our column wider. All right, we're going to do that same again with column C. So click anywhere in column C, and we're going to go back to the Format button and choose column width. And this time for column C, we're going to make it 6. We're going to make it narrower because there's no text there. There we go. So that is manually changing the column width. There's also an option for auto fit, where Excel automatically determines the size of the column. So click on cell B13, and we're going to go back up to the Format button. And if it's either a button here, or if it doesn't show in your ribbon, it's in the 3 dots. And we're going to choose the option that says Auto Fit Column Width. That just means it automatically fits it. Here we go. And now column B is exactly the right fit for the cell we selected, B13. Column A is now too wide to be visually appealing, as it made the column as wide as the length of the longest entry. I don't know if I agree with that. We're going to make column A a little bit narrower in a different way. Move your mouse pointer to the right edge of column A. There's a vertical line right between A and B. And when you put your cursor there, you have a 2-way arrow. You're going to double click that position, and that's another way to do an auto fit. So column A is now wide enough for Tolano Adventures. All right, we're going to move the mouse pointer to the right edge of the column A header. Nope, we already did that. All right, well, we are going to go back to this column, this line between A and B, and we're going to change manually the width of column A so that it's just right to show airport fees. So click and drag it to the left until that vertical line is right by the S in airport fees. And let go. All right, that is question 6. We're on to our last question, adjusting the row height. So we made all of those changes to the columns. We can make similar changes to the rows. So on row number 1, over here on the left side of the page, we're going to right click because this is another way to make these changes. And we're going to go to row height. That box opens up, and instead of 15, we're going to make it size 30. Make it the row height size 30 for row 1. Click OK. And now we're going to right click row 4 and choose row height. And we're going to make this size 9. We're going to make this one smaller, size 9. You can also, in the future, use row height under Format. Okay, we've just done 3 or 4 different ways to change the column width and the row height. That is our last step in this exercise. So let's click Submit and Finish. And we have finished this exercise. Great job.